Hey everyone. So yeah, this today we're gonna be reacting to open conversation dating bisexual men. I was really interested in this topic. Well, I guess I wasn't really interested. It kind of popped up on my recommendations, but I thought it was interesting enough to like actually look through it and explore it. But I didn't want to do it by myself. I kind of just wanted to react to it. Might be some wild takes. But anyway, let's just get into it and see what we have in store for us.
Bisexual men, please tell me your opinion. Can you settle down with a woman over the long haul? Could you be in a relationship with a woman, have kids and all that, and not miss the touch of another man? The road to love is exciting, funny, and sometimes can even be heartbreaking. But in the end, it'll all be worth it. Join me on my journey to love. Hey everybody, it's Miranda and I am back with another video. And today's video is going to be about a topic that's near and dear to me in a way, because I remember back in the early 90s and 2000s, I used to read books from this author named Elin Harris, and he always talked about men who were on the down low. And that was just as I was getting into the dating. I had just started really, dating and finding, like, that was when I got my first love and all of that kind of stuff back in those days. So that was always something that I was thinking about as I was going and meeting different men and things of that nature. So how this relates to my dating life today is that here recently I matched up with a man who I met once before on one of the dating apps, and we talked a little bit, but we stopped talking because I felt like he was giving me a bunch of canned cut and paste answers. I would ask him, to talk or whatever, and he would I would say, hello, how are you, or whatever, and he would send me back a cut and paste thing about, all the things about him. So it really didn't feel like a conversation. It felt like, he had a bunch of canned answers prepared.
That's kind of how it is with most men, honestly, just in general. When it comes to that, I don't know if she talked to him in person or was it through text, because I can understand if it was in person, but no, I think she said he pasted, so yeah, probably through text. That's just how most men are. Most men are really dry texters. That's just how it is.
And that just really wasn't my style, so we really drifted apart. But then here recently, last week, I matched with him on a different dating app, and he had a picture of his cute little son who reminded me a lot of my own son. And, I thought the guy was a handsome guy or whatever, so I was like, well, let me try this again. Maybe he's grown since the last time we've spoken.
No. Stick to your instincts.
Whatever. And boy, has he changed a little bit. So anyway, I matched, we talked a little bit, and he asked me, well, do you want me to tell you, some things about me? And I was like, no, let's just kind of let the conversation flow. The last time we spoke, you sent me this copy and paste paragraph.
Let me see if we can read it. Let me see. So would you like to hear about me, the long or short of it? You told me about you the last time we matched. I think you have a cut and paste paragraph that you sent me a couple of times before. So maybe this time we can just chat. Okay. Thanks, the old me, of course. Wait, I'm bi now. If that's can't make that word out. So blurry. If that's news, okay, that's definitely new. I also noticed that you're looking for something more casual. Okay, this conversation's a little weird to make out because it's just so blurry on the video. But I think that's what you said. I think you just came out as bi on the text. But okay, cool.
About yourself, and I really didn't like that, and he said, oh, well, that's the old me. But if you want to hear something new about me, he's like, now I'm bisexual. And, I was like, oh, okay, right.
I'm sorry. It's just that reaction. Everyone has that reaction when someone comes out as like bi or something like that, or maybe gay. But like when it's bi, it's like, oh, oh, I didn't even. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so good. It's like the version of them in their head. It's like they're trying to portray the version that it's like politically social, like social politically correct versus the version in your mind that's saying, what the fuck? What is that? Like the version of yourself in your mind that's like basically going ballistic, cussing them out left and right, versus the version of you that's trying to be, socially, have social etiquette basically. And I just love to see it. I love that reaction. It's annoying though sometimes, but I love that reaction.
So the reason why this comes up for me as a thing, and I want to preface this whole conversation by saying that I am a huge proponent of people living their truth. I am a proponent of people.
They always say that before they say some fuck shit. Just brace yourself.
Of all gender and sexual orientations and preferences and all of that.
I bet you are.
Being and living who they are and being able to be free and open to do that.
All right, let's hear it.
And I do appreciate that nowadays people are more open to being able to be who they are, and society is more accepting of that, and that's what I love. So I really do appreciate that this man came out and told me that, so that it wasn't something that he was sneaking around doing, like if we had started dating, that he's sneaking around and being with men on the side or whatever the case is. So he let me know, listen, now I'm just out of a relationship and now I'm also experimenting with men. So I'm like, okay, cool.
Okay.
But inside of myself, I'm like, well, I'm not really down to date a bisexual man.
Yeah.
Let me explain why.
And that's okay. And that's okay. Like you shouldn't. I hate when people say like, "Oh, you're not my type," and then they get mad that you're not their type or whatever. Especially like when it's like if someone's like trans or whatnot, they get mad. It's like, why would you want to be around someone who's not into you? I don't understand that. It's like, oh, maybe you can force yourself to be into me, and that's not how it works. Why would you want someone to do that for you? That makes no sense. It's like, oh, I have to fall in love with this person. I have to find a reason to fall in love with this person. And it's like, okay, that has to happen naturally. You can't force it, A. And if they don't want to do that, then they're not going to do that. Like, I don't know why people are so desperate to be around people who don't like you. Like, that just seems dangerous and kind of weird. It will always be weird to me. I never understood that. But anyway, so that's why, okay, that wasn't too bad. I thought she was going to say something super crazy, off the rails, unhinged. But that was based. Okay. This is the feature of YouTube where everyone has to give like a woke disclaimer before they voice their opinion. Like we have to make like an FBI warning sign in the middle, and then like the little eagle, and then like the like little disclosure or whatever, and then we have to give the 1-800 number on the bottom corner over here, and then my own signature in the left hand corner or whatnot. To make sure that we don't offend no one. Oh God. She says the following statements are my own opinion and feelings on the subject matter. They do not represent my feelings, ideas, or experiences of anyone other than me. I do understand that some of the thoughts expressed here could become misconceptions of bisexuality, but please know I'm open to research, learn, and understand more. I mean no disparagement. What's that sound? Oh, sorry, I thought I heard something. To anyone in the LGBTQ community, and welcome any dialogue that is open with me on the topic. And now, back to our regular scheduled programming.
So, for me, if you like men and women, and a woman is in a relationship with you and wanting you to settle down and be monogamous with her, there is a part of your sexuality or your sexual desires that will not be that I won't be able to meet. And so my thought is, do I want to put myself through a situation of being with a man who I cannot fully satisfy, and having him resent me for the rest of his life for keeping him away from, the touch and the love of another man? Or do I just want to date somebody who only likes women and could see himself settling down with?
Okay, so I think I'm just gonna say this and leave it at that. I think when it comes down to a man or a woman, I think it goes based on personality for me. Personality means more than almost anything else. Attractiveness does factor in. I have to be somewhat physically attracted to you, of course. But for me, it's mostly just our emotional connection is what bonds us. Outside of that, nothing really else really matters that much for me. But yeah, I mean, it varies from person to person, from guy to guy. If whoever I'm dating, whether it's a woman or a man, whoever I'm dating, I'm focused on you. I'm not going to waver from that. Realistically, I'm just not going to waver from that unless our relationship is about to end and we're about to break up. I would wait until I'm broken up to move on to someone else. I'm not just going to cheat, if that's what you're asking. But yeah.
Just a woman. And, I look at it from the perspective of myself. Like, if I were for some reason to fall in love with a woman, would I be able to put aside my desire to be with a man to settle down with a woman, even if I was truly in love with her? And I'm not sure that I would be able to do that. And I'm not sure.
Okay, yeah. In that case, then yes, I can put away my desires to be with a woman or to be with a man. I mean, as a bisexual, you're kind of already sort of doing that anyway. So you don't really have a choice. You're not, unless you're polygamous, then that's a different story, completely different situation. But if you're just monogamous, you're gonna have to do that regardless. And I don't know. For me, it's not that difficult. I don't find it super difficult to do that. I like who I'm dating is who I'm focused on. So even outside the honeymoon phase, you should be fine. It really does vary from guy to guy. It depends on like their level of self-control as a person. I feel like if you're out of the closet, it's a lot easier because at least then it's like you don't have that like pent-up frustration with who you are and your own sexuality to the point where you would have to do shitty things like cheating as much. You wouldn't have to cheat for most guys if they were out of the closet. I think a lot of guys cheat with men because the sexual frustration builds up and builds up and builds up. And I don't know, when I'm with women, it's kind of like my emotions are a little bit different than when I'm towards guys. And when I'm towards guys, my emotions are different with them than when I'm dating women. So it's like I'm dating you guys for different reasons, essentially. And I think whatever reasons those are, it's good enough for me to cast the rest of my desires off because I'm already it's beneficial to me just to be around you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting enough already. I don't need more than this, is what I'm trying to say. That's just me. It could vary from a different person. So the concern is valid. It's definitely valid. I'm just saying some guys have better control than others in that area. Even with, I feel like straight couples too, it's kind of just like, there's certain things that I can do that maybe another guy can do better. So, doesn't mean you're automatically just going to leave me for him. Maybe if there was like a stressor in a relationship that, I don't know. That's kind of like random. But, like I said, I think it really depends on your self-control. But it is a valid concern. So just be careful. And have a strong vetting process. That's why I would say, I feel like that's in general. I feel like that's like a standard rule. But I think it's a little bit more flexible when you're straight. But like when you're bisexual, yeah, I can understand that. But yeah, it varies from person to person. So in the dating scene out here, as a straight person is already a hellscape. So adding bisexual to the list, it just makes it more complicated. So yeah, you just have to use your better judgment. I can't really speak for everyone in the world. But I'm just trying to say here that like not all bisexual men are like that impulsive.
I'm not trying to be any kind of way against, LGBTQ people or the way that, a bisexual man might, whatever his needs are or anything. That is not the purpose of this. It's more trying to understand what are the needs of a bisexual man. I remember when I was watching the Love at First Sight, I think it was a show called on Netflix, where Carlton confessed to Diamond that he is bisexual. and how, he felt so rejected, which oddly.
And I'm going to talk about this real quick before I let her continue because the video is almost over. But yeah, the reason why I hesitated so much in giving my answer is because a lot of people from the LGBTQ community do come from a lot of trauma, per se. Not all of us, but a good majority of us do come from a lot of trauma, and we develop maladaptive tendencies to dealing with real life problems, and we suppress a lot, and we let it build and fester until it becomes something that's like almost unmanageable. I feel like people are getting like healed through therapy and stuff like that, but a lot of people haven't really dealt with a lot of their issues. I would be lying to myself if I said like I don't see most guys having like this type of problem. This is why I hesitate a lot with the impulse stuff, is because yeah, a lot of men that I do see on these dating apps do have impulse issues, especially straight men too. Like I said, the dating scene is a hellscape. There really is no right answer here outside of just trust your basic instincts, don't doubt yourself, and have a good vetting process, or any vetting process, to be honest with you, because most people don't even have that. They start their vetting process when the person moves in with them, and then they start to realize, oh my god, this person sucks, and I should probably break up with them. Like, don't be financially attached to someone before you start actually vetting their personality, because by then it's basically too late and becomes a freaking situation that you have little control of at that point. So yeah, you really have to trust yourself, and a lot of people are traumatized from the neglect and the rejection. That's why the guy from Love is Blind, I don't think he best represents a regular bisexual man. I think he was kind of over the top for the cameras because he did a lot of BS. Okay, he was acting like he was 12 years old, acting like he can't have a regular conversation with nobody. It was weird. It was stupid. It was embarrassing for the whole community. That being said, I'm going to let her continue. She's making some good points. I'm going to let her continue.
Enough, I think he was already... Diamond, I felt like, never really rejected him. I felt like he was already rejecting himself and then putting that off on her, because I thought she was rather understanding for the fact
I
that
thought she
he
was
had
understanding
told
too.
her the whole time they were in the pods. And then when she did tell him, she was taken back by it, of course, but she was open to discuss it, I felt. And, so that whole conversation and him feeling so rejected, I would never want to put that on a man or whatever makes him feel so rejected. But I also believe that, there are certain needs that I wouldn't be able to satisfy in a bisexual man. And so I want to make sure that I understand fully what bisexual men might need, or, and obviously I'm going to have to talk to each bisexual man, but give me your opinion. As a bisexual man, please tell me your opinion. Can you settle down with a woman over the long haul? Could you be in a relationship with a woman, have kids and all that, and not...
And I think I could do that. Like I said, it doesn't seem like a problem to me. I'm attracted to both genders, but I'm attracted to them for different reasons. And neither for me is a necessity. That's what I'm saying. I'm okay with being single. Neither of them is an actual necessity where I'll die if I don't have this. I'm pretty well built myself. I can handle myself. I can do things for myself. I'm pretty independent and self-sustaining as a person. And I think it's kind of for me, it's the loneliness factor that I worry about. But outside of that, if you're around someone, it's whether that's a guy or a woman, I'll be satisfied. I think the thing with me is my desires are really low for each gender. I don't really have to. You don't have to do this whole circus trapeze thing of commands I have for each person. I'm not doing any of that. It's just I love people for different reasons, and if you start acting like a man, I'm not gonna like you, and if you start acting like a woman, I'm not gonna like you as much, just because I love you for different reasons. But anyway, it's a little bit more complex. I can go a little bit deeper in my own video, my own little video essay if you want me to. But yeah. That being said, I think we should just wrap this video up. I'm kind of winding it at this point, stretching it out as long as possible. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure to comment, subscribe. Be sure to click the bell for notification when you get an update on my videos. If you want to DM me a video that you won't want me to react to, just send it to me. I think my email is in my profile or whatever. So maybe you should click on that, or you can just comment me with the DM for a video. I'll be sure to react to it. All right, guys. Until next time, I'll see you guys later.